And one of the key concerns that the transport sector has up until now, and John touched upon it on a few occasions because he said we think there is no clarity. And if we were to be leaving anyway soon, the industry is still not prepared because of the lack of clarity. I personally have approached officials within HMRC, within the Department for Transport, to seek the clarity that the industry needs. And despite repeated requests, no one has been forthcoming. It seems.
Do you think they know the answers?
I don't think they do, or their political masters have told them not to say. Anytime we mention Northern Ireland, we're told, oh, it's too politically sensitive in order to discuss the detail. The detail will become known. But in order for the industry to be prepared for the detail, we need to know it in good time. We need to put systems in place. We need to recruit the staff. It's difficult enough recruiting staff in this day and age, but to recruit staff and train them up in the procedures, it all takes time and money. That all adds to the cost of transport. And looking at the overall impact of the proposals, John mentions veterinary or health certificates. I was speaking to a transport operator quite recently, and subject to the nature of the load, if it's subject to veterinary certificates, the Department of Agriculture contacted him to say that they had insufficient vets to do the checks. He asked them, well, is there an approved list? They said there's approved vets, but we don't have a list. So the haulier had to then phone all the local vets to see who was approved. Once he identified who was approved, it's costing in the region of £100 plus per hour to come out to assess a product.
And if you have, say, in one of those groupage lorries where there are lots of different things, if I'm getting the terminology correct, and maybe you have 4 different kinds of meat, maybe beef, turkey, chicken and some pork, do they all need different separate certificates and so on?
Even if you have those 4 products that you mentioned on one pallet, it would appear that they need a veterinary certificate for each of those products. So a haulier could go to a cold store and lift a load that's going to 10 different destinations, and he would be required to have 10 different veterinary certificates. They reckon it'll cost in the region of £200 plus per pallet, which is a considerable cost, particularly if you're a micro business that's only maybe exporting 1 pallet. That's the difference between profitability and loss.